While most people scroll past Bitcoin's headlines thinking too risky, too late, or just digital gold, one man went all in with billions and never looked back. Michael Saylor. The world laughs at Bitcoin's volatility, but Saylor sees a once in a 5,000 year opportunity. They see chaos, he sees clarity. So in this video, I'm just breaking down the 3 key things Michael Saylor sees that the rest of the world is blind to. 1. Why fiat is silently destroying your wealth and Bitcoin is the escape hatch. 2. Why Bitcoin isn't just digital gold, but digital energy. 3. Why Saylor's long game mindset puts him decades ahead of almost every investor. Stick around, because once you see what he sees, you won't be able to unsee it. Starting off with the first part, fiat is failing and most people don't realize it. Michael Saylor didn't get rich by playing it safe. He got rich by thinking differently. So when COVID hit hard and central banks fired the money printers, he looked past the headlines. He studied what was really happening to cash, to savings and the purchasing power. What he found horrified him. While governments claimed inflation was transitory, Saylor realized the real rate of debasement was far higher than the CPI admitted. Housing, education, food, energy, real-life inflation was inflating at 8%, 12%, even 15% per year. Meanwhile, his corporate cash reserves were melting. That's when he called cash what it truly is. A melting ice cube. Most people are taught to save cash for safety. Saylor realized saving in fiat is a slow motion self-destruction. So he looked for an asset that couldn't be inflated, printed or seized. That's when he found Bitcoin. Now let's move on. Bitcoin is digital energy, not just digital gold. Most people stop at Bitcoin is digital gold, but Saylor goes further. He calls it digital energy, and that changes everything. Here is the idea. When you work, you generate energy, value. But if you store that energy in cash, it decays. Store it in bonds, it bleeds. Store it in real estate, and you're locked into one country, one government, one tax code. But Bitcoin, it stores value without leaking. It's portable, incorruptible, and indestructible. You can move it across the planet in seconds without any permission. That's why Saylor calls it digital energy. It is the first asset in history where you can store economic power without relying on a middleman or institution. So he sees Bitcoin as the invention of thermodynamic money, something that obeys the laws of physics, not politics. And once you understand that Bitcoin is no longer a trade, it's your lifeline. Now let's talk about the long game. Why Saylor isn't afraid of holding forever. Well, most investors check their portfolios daily. Saylor zooms out to decades, even centuries. He said it many times, I'm not investing for a quarter. I'm preserving wealth for 100 years. And that's why volatility doesn't scare him. When Bitcoin drops 40%, he doesn't panic. He buys more. Because he understands volatility is the price you pay for the best performing asset in human history. So he's playing the long game. While others try to time the top and bottom, Saylor is building an ark before the flood. He sees Bitcoin as a savings technology for the next century, a defense against governments that overspend and overprint, and a tool to escape the slow erosion of wealth that's robbed generations. That's why he hasn't sold a single set. Because to him, Bitcoin isn't a get-rich scheme. It's a don't-get-poor system. Here's the truth Saylor sees, and most people don't want to hear. It's not Bitcoin that is risky. It's the fiat system you're trusting every day. It's the silent theft through inflation, taxation, and currency debasement. The people who miss Bitcoin always say the same thing. It's too volatile. It's too speculative. It's too late. But what if it's not any of those things? What if the most important invention of our lifetime and we just too conditioned to recognize it? Saylor escaped the trap. Now he is showing us the exit. The question is, will you take it before the door closes?